Welcome to On the Chain.
Welcome to On the Chain. This is Chip. Jeff is away on special assignment tonight. In this video, we're going to get into a bunch of different things. First off, it looks like the SEC got busted. What happened? Rosalind Layton, who we love here on the chain and the OTC family loves, just because she is so incredibly intelligent here. And this is something we teased early on, the SEC getting busted right here. And I'm going to have to go into a couple series of these tweets here. Let me cue them up for you as we do it. Wow, there's a whole bunch of them here. So let's go this. We'll take it from John Deaton, and then we'll work our way back to Rosalind Layton tweet. But this right here is absolutely incredible because the what's going on over at the SEC. But look at this right here. We have breaking. This was put out by John Deaton, who's the co-founder of Crypto Law at Crypto Law US. Breaking: documents released by Empower US reveals the SEC found, get this, approximately 1,000 pages of records detailing communications between Bill Hinman, Simpson Thacher while he was in office, while he was at the SEC. Now think about that. If you guys saw the thumbnail, we had 1,000 papers stacked up. That's a lot of paper, right? That they just casually kind of just came across it like, oh, that's interesting. Like, geez, what's that over there? Is that 1,000 pages of items? Because if you guys remember, there's a Freedom of Information Act that was filed by Empower looking for these documents. And if we go down here, we're going to look at this in a second here. But we're going to go through this tweet thread. Document appears to be a letter memorializing apparently combative conversations between Empower US and the SEC staff over claims of no response documents. Because that's what they did. They're like, oh, we don't have the documents. Nobody knows. Sorry. Nobody knows what's happening. We have no documents. And so now, subject to litigation in the group's investigation of potential conflicts of interest of Hinman, Jay Clayton, and Berger. On a January 28th call, the SEC staff claimed an error in previous search was corrected, and the more than 1,000 documents were uncovered linked to the Hinman Simpson Thacher request. Now, Simpson Thacher was Bill Hinman's law firm that he supposedly got $15 million from, but then he wasn't working for them, but it was retirement, but then he went to go back work for them. It's kind of a little bit of a dodgy story there. Other searches ongoing. Empower US further demanded details on the search methods. Touche. Read the full document here, the behind-the-scenes detail of the SEC staff fighting in the group's investigation, and why Congress needs to step up and conduct an independent investigation of this matter. Thank you. And John Deaton's absolutely right. He's been calling for an independent investigation for a long, long time. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they corrected it. It says it right here. They corrected where is it? Yeah, there was an error in the previous search. It's like, all right, here's what the previous search looked like. Do you see them? I don't see any documents. Do you? And then the other search was like, we have this a Freedom of Information Act request. We're going to have to turn something over, or there will be an investigation. And all of a sudden, they just out of nowhere uncover 1,000 documents out of nowhere. Nobody knows. How did it happen? Just a mystery. Just a mystery. It happens. So let's go into the other line of tweets here because there's some other good ones here. Now, this is Empower Oversight. They're the ones that filed the Freedom of Information Act. This is what they had to say right here. This admission from SEC means in its previous no records response was absolutely false. Empower Oversight expects full, legally required transparency from the SEC. And this is well said. A lot said in these two sentences. That admission saying no response records was absolutely false. Put another way, was an absolute outright lie. They were lying when they said they couldn't find it, right? They didn't have any records. They didn't know. Nobody knew anything. And the Empower Oversight, it wants full, legally required transparency, as we would expect, because the SEC is a government organization and there should absolutely be some transparency, or all transparency. And Ed, thank you for that, Ed Franzlowski. Appreciate that. Down with OTC. And if you're down with OTC, guys, you know what to do. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, click that notification bell. That way you're notified anytime we post a video. And down below right there, if you guys look in there, we have another channel. We've been taking out clips from the show. If you didn't watch a full show, if you subscribe to our other channel, they're 8 to 12-minute clips, usually a highlight. And our very own producer, OTC family member, Hans Loaded, is the one who's been doing an amazing job with that and cutting those clips up. So really thanks. Big shout out to Hans for doing that. Now, let's go see. This is interesting how this is sort of panning out. Now you've got Empower Oversight basically calling the SEC out on the mat, hiding no punches at all, just calling them to the mat, basically calling them out, right? And now let's go into this other one. This is Rosalind Layton. She puts together, pens all those beautiful Forbes articles where the last one she talked about the whole confusion with the pronouns, the I and the we, with how it's being used at the SEC. So her thought on this was, she commented on the Empower Oversight's tweet and said, so XRP was always a security, which purportedly obvious since 2013, even though SEC didn't know until December of 2020. Hinman said we, but meant I, and now no response documents is actually 1,000 pages of records. The SEC arrogance is astounding, and she's absolutely right. It is astounding what is going on. And I just love that they called it out in these tweets. And that's where I kind of wonder what is going on with the SEC. Are they trying to put one over on us? I imagine that there was probably, and again, we didn't go through into reading the document of the rumblings behind the scenes, but you can take further legal action, and they probably knew that wasn't a good idea. Usually what happens in these scenarios is that there's somebody on the inside who volunteers or finds the documents, because a lot of times a lot of these documents end up in a shredder. And funny enough, they're stored electronically. So there are electronic versions of them. The shredding or, the bleach bitting does not get rid of all of the documents. And I'm certainly sure that was the case here. We've got this. This is a tweet put out by the Payment Infrastructure News. Shout out to Van Life for sending it our way. The last few days have been marked by positive news for Swift competitor Ripple. Observers speak of possible turning point in the lawsuit with the SEC, but more interesting from our point of view is the cooperation with Modular, which could give RippleNet project a new boost. The partnership means that firms using Ripple's RippleNet for real-time payments will have an alternative to legacy correspondent banking for payments into the UK and into Europe. And this is significant for a bunch of different reasons, but as we talked about, I think it was the other night, we talked about this partnership with Modular. It's big. And a lot of times we sit there and look at maybe what Ripple's doing and what their partner is doing. But what you need to take it is another level further and find out what is their partner doing. The partners are doing all kinds of stuff. So between Ripple partners, they're just covering the earth, the globe, if you will, with all kinds of good stuff. And, it's, let's go ahead and throw that back up there. I think that was this go on here? Yep. Quoting Cindy Young, MD, RippleNet Europe. Together, we look forward to providing faster, simpler cross-border payments experience for customers on RippleNet into the UK and into Europe.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.